Hello and welcome to another KB train spotting videos, and today we are at Chapel and Waits Clone, I think is how you pronounce it, which is between Marks Tay and Sudbury. And today you'll see one service from Greater Anglia, and the reason why I'm here is not just because train spot for Greater Anglia. I'm here for the museum, which is called basically called the East Anglia Railway Museum. It's a lovely day today. I'm going to enjoy it and hope you're going to like the video on what I'm going to be recording. If you like my videos, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, any comments, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And yes, so it's going to be a lovely day. A train should be, a Greater Anglia train should be coming very shortly. Should be the 10:30, I think it's 10:38 train, I do believe. So we'll get that when it comes. As we're waiting for that train to appear, we're going to talk about couple of these coaches. That one is of course a rail freight one, and that number is 200,080, which is actually a British Railways CVA van, and that was built in 1989, which is nice to see. I've never seen one of these before, so it's quite interesting. Over there we got some coaching stock, and I do believe they're actually Mark 2s, I do believe. Maybe wrong, maybe Mark 1s, but I've said one of them I do know, as we can see, which is the Tourist Second Open, TSO, if you like to shorten with it. And that one number is basically W5455, and that was built in 1969. So you probably can gather what era that was from. I gather it might be Mark 2s, and it do look like a little bit like a Mark 2 there. And we've got another coach as well later on, which is down there. I'll get them ones a bit later once the Greater Anglia train is actually passed. And also behind there we've got something interesting, which is actually another, which is actually a locomotive actually not a locomotive, actually a diesel rail car, shall we say. We'll get that when this other Greater Anglia train arrives basically. So yeah, I'm going to do what I've done similar, if you've seen my videos and what I've done last year, which is similar like this. Like I've done Norfolk Railway, and I have done Mid-Norfolk Railway as well. So videos will be quite soon. There'll be no trains running, unfortunately, but it's the only day I can actually afford to come here, really, because other things, in my life. And so a bit like sort of crossover between Norfolk Railway and Mid-Norfolk Railway I've done last year. I put them to the links to them in the description down below, so you can actually view them as well if you're quite new to my channel or haven't been around my channel since then, so you can look back what I've done there as well. So yeah, so we'll get this Greater Anglia train. Should be a 755, only 755, 755s come round here, and then we'll crack on and see what's round at this museum, which will be great to see. So yeah, we'll get that train, the Greater train, when it arrives. Now we are getting the Greater Anglia train, which is the 10:39 service from Sudbury towards Marks Tay to start off with. Greater Anglia. Work on the 755. I'll get the unit number when it arrives. The angle's not always quite great because I'm on a slope, quite a heavy slope as well. And it's quite fit well, really, sort of new versus old, really, shall we say. And the numbers are 375, 334 on this particular unit and set. We'll get more of this train when it actually departs. Now we've got the 10:39 service towards Marks Tay. Now we're leaving here. Brilliant horn. Fantastic horn. Brilliant. Awesome by the driver. And that was a 10:39 service from from Sudbury towards Markstay, that one was. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's brilliant. That really makes the video sum up a little bit, really. And that'll be all the train will be moving today, but we'll get some other bits and pieces around the museum. And we'll do this right now. And that'll be the next thing what we'll be seeing on this clip. Now I've gone further up the line, not the line, the station rather, and see the actual view a bit more of that carriage just saw a little bit earlier, the other side, and we got the carriage this side now, which is E3779, this one is, and yeah, it's the same type of coach, shall we say, and that's what it said in the booklet, what I've got basically. So it's still a source taken open, and this one was built in 1953. So I gather, I'm not too sure, I think this one might be a Mark 1 and I think the other one is a Mark 2, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I reckon it might be. As I say, sounds like by the year dates and the look of them, it do look slightly different. So I think that was a Mark 1 and that's my other one might be a Mark 2. But I'm guessing it, I can't really gather that situation. So yeah, it's quite nice to see them. We've got a wagon here, and we've got no one at the other end. I'm not sure about them too much, to be honestly. And the bubble card I'll get when we get a bit more further down, and we'll get a bit of that, and then we'll go across over to the all through the museum, which will be great. So yeah, we'll do that right next. Now we basically got a which is called rail diesel cars, which I believe they are class 101s, and the one you just seen there, which is a DMBS, which I do gather, and that was a 51213, and that was built in 1958, and this one here is the same of built, but this one's a 54358. So yes, so it's interesting to see, and that one is well, and they're both built in the same year. And the one you just seen here was a DTCL, which I'm not really entirely sure situation to myself. They are the first generation of a DMU, which is decent multiple unit vehicles and fleet, shall we say, trains. And so yes, and that's what these ones are basically. Look like we can walk the other side, so we might be able to get a bit more details on the other side. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is getting right into the museum now, and that's the next thing I'm going to do. Now we are the other side of the station, on the museum side now, and we've got this class 101. Which is diesel multiple unit, as I was saying a little bit earlier. We can get on the train, so we'll have a look around there, and we'll do that situation. So we go on both, so that'll be cool to do that. So we'll do that next, and we'll get on that train. Now we're supposed getting on this train, which is the E543851, and yes, it's going to be quite an issue, this one. It's not like modern days, I have to say. Yeah, we're in here now, and we can see the carriages. Just let the camera sort itself out with the light, and yes, it looks pretty cool, really. We're not moving, but you know, it's nice to snoop around. Bit of a shame on the mid-Norfolk where you couldn't do this. So on this, when there's no train running today on this, you can still go on the trains, which is fantastic. This one looks like you was originally like this, say, first class situation. We can have a look at the driving cab situation, and yes, and it's very different to modern days. Very modern what we saw. The first train of we saw Greater Anglia on the 755. So it's very different, very sort of not so much technology, techno stuff there, which is quite how it was back in the days. So yeah, so So it looks like that. And yeah, well, I'm going to sit down on the Jubilee trains, which is class 101s. And yeah, this is the first class, and over there, which is the standard class. So so yes, it'll be quite interesting to see. And so yeah, I'm going to walk through the carriage. And yeah, can't walk all the way through, but at least you can walk some. And yes, so it'll be quite cool, really. So yeah, next bit of film, I'll see what, and we'll go from there. So yeah, so that's good from the first train what we got on today. Have a look at the nose around. There you go. Now this is the other coach, which I do believe from that one. We can look at this one as well. It's probably going to be about quite similar, the same, to be honestly. Why not? These sets I'm not typically used to. Well, probably not surprised. I've said I'm moaning about the linear ones, the Zoomer 800 stuff, you know, getting out of them, but I've said I've got to think again. But anyway, this is the other coach. It looked like they're actually really renovating a bit on this coach, because you can walk through. I thought you could normally, but they're actually doing something up there, which is well, I gather so. I'm not entirely 100% sure, but I reckon they probably are. Situation. This is the other side. Situation. Very similar, the same-ish, really, to be honestly. And yes, and go right to the other end as well. Have to say, a bit narrow there, and the shoulders of this end as well. So yeah, and you can have a look at there. But yeah, so yeah, it is very different to modern days. It is diesel multiple unit, which is 101s. So so yes, so I'll go do the same again. I probably might sit down for a bit, and then I'm going to go and see what the others are really. I have to say, and we'll do that next. I know I haven't got my tripod on, but it's nice to catch a bit of 755 going the other way, which we saw earlier, going towards Sudbury now, which is 75334. But also again, we've got a nice old signal box here, which is good to see as well. Chapel, and that's nice to see. And you've got an old signalling thing here, which is not used for that great angle train. It's used for when these trains go on, when it's like open train movement days. And there is another one down there as well, so all good. And no single pot there. We'll get more when things happen. Now we are in the goods shed situation. Look, did change. You've got the gentleman here, and you've got some more other signs, which is Continental Ticket Office and foreign passports. And down the bottom you've got rail tickets, parcels, and luggage. And down the bottom you've got Harold Grimley, I can't pronounce that, but we'll get down there when this camera sorts its light out. And there is something typically I want to see. It's this, oh dear, it's not coming out very well here. I think there's the light here I can't do much about, but I might be able to do something. But it's not going too far, this one. I don't know what's gone wrong with my camera here, but it's meant to be a sign called Clacton on Sea. You can just about see it now. My camera's like to sort itself out. And these are the old station signs. You see, tell where you are and what station you're on. This one's Clacton on Sea. There's still slight, you can still see some of these about still. One of them I know was Thorpe the Stockholm. You can see them still on, clearly see them on the station still, on an unused platform, so you can actually see them. So I'll put that in link with description down below as well, so that you can see they're actually are still dotted around at stations and stuff like that. Not many, but some of them are. And also on the, I do believe, I think it was, can't remember where it was. I think it might be Norfolk Railway, maybe. One or two, Norfolk Railway, I can't remember now. Show one of these sort of styles as well. I do believe it's probably was mid-Norfolk Railway, but not entirely sure. And here we got loads of sort of like tickets and stuff like that. And yes, it looks pretty good. And here we've got a carriage. Haven't really checked what this one is at the moment, to be honestly. Look, we can go on it, so we'll check that out slightly a little bit later on. Now you can see the signs. The light's not great in here, unfortunately. I don't know if my camera or is it just the actual light of this area or whatever. I do not know, so it's a bit odd. You can't quite see it from there, I don't think. Very dark, but nothing I can do about that one. So unfortunately, it's just my camera, and I do believe it's one of them things. There's a clock there, which I don't think is the right time. I don't think it is, to be honest, which is such a shame. The old, as you probably can see the old Network Rail symbol on the clock, which is there, so which is nice to see. Shame these clocks are not still around, be honestly, like this, because I understand similar, not the same, but similar. I think Germany still do these sort of style clocks around in stations and stuff like that. So I think it's Germany. I'm 100% sure it's Germany. And they're sort of style clocks. I'll call them modernised, but still that sort of style of clock still, you know, which I think is classy. It's brilliant. And I'm glad the Germans have kept them sort of stuff, but Britain, they just don't. They're all digitised, you know, digital time, which is good in one way, but I'll say I'm not sure. I think nice to have all these little touches and the little gems and that kind of stuff. It just makes the station slightly better, I would say. But hey, it's the way it goes. And if you want to see these sort of similar but modern sort of look, the best place as far as I know is Germany. So yes, I'm sure there's others, but nothing I can think of top of my head, unfortunately. Just to say about the clock thing we just saw there. We'll just pause this for a moment, this video. And yes, I have noticed there is one of them clocks in this country still around, apparently. It's in the Worcestershire area, apparently. So I saw a video of that, some time ago. It wasn't linked to the clocks, but it was just in the background. So yeah, that's why situation. But they do have them slightly around in this country still. I think one or two or three around, dotted around. But also, talk about clocks. The new digital digital timing clocks that we're talking about here is one thing I have noticed that it's all very well. I think it's good to have digital clock because that's got all the digital, time. When you say, the train leaves at sample like 10:17, it's definitely going to be 10:17, and you're not going by analog clock, which could be near if or something. But to be honest, I have noticed this with the digital timings and stuff. I have noticed they have been wrong sometimes, and especially at Ipswich Station, I noticed there's at once or twice situation. You get one side of the platform saying one time, and you get the other side of the platform which is saying a completely different time. So I'm not sure about if digital time is always 100% correct. Situation you always say, but most of the time it is, shall we say. But it'd be nice to bring these ones back, you know, really, to be fair. You know, give back the feel, and that's all I was saying. So, yeah, and now we're going to go back towards the rest of the video. And we've got some more signs here, and situation, you can see them clear this time, my camera's not playing up, and which is Crescent and British Airways, and that's a Whitman behind there, so yes, and it's all good. Next I'll go get on this train, this is not a train, it's a carriage, and I'll tell you a bit more about it when I get on it. Now we're on this going towards carriages, one carriage, I think it looks like it, and it's E24959. We'll tell you a bit more information I can now. It's obviously a corridor second, and it is, and it was built in 1956. So I do think this is Mark 1. I think Mark 2 didn't come to the 1960s, I don't think. I'm totally not sure, but I think they might have done. So, yeah, let's get on with a little bit of a nose situation. I'm sure my up about in the corner, but hey, nobody's going to touch it, so it doesn't make much difference. And yes, so it's quite nice and in pack, and here we go. And but yes, it's nice to see these little coaches really, and you can see the little on the British Rail on that mirror, which is quite good. I'm not going too far because that was a little bit ghosty, you know, you didn't really see my camera and everything like that. But I said, but yes, it looks pretty awesome. So yes, and yeah, we'll go right to the other end if I don't hit anything. And yeah, so everything looks pretty much the same as like the first one, and pretty much. So yeah, we'll go walk through this carriage, and why not? And yeah, so I'm not quite sure with the seat there, because everything's pretty much the same, shall we say? So yeah, so yeah, so we'll just carry on like this. I would say, well, I could just play music while I walk through, but I thought that's just ruined the video a bit, really. Yeah, we know a bit more there, and there you go. If you can read it, it was built in 1950 and the current maintenance in 1981. It withdrew the purchase of right, so I'm not going to read it because you actually probably can read it yourself there. So what's the point? I'm reading it as you can actually see it. And it refers to 2003. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so you can see there. We go there, and I'll go stop video there because it's not even worth filming anymore from this situation. So it's Slam Door train. Nice to see them. Do miss them on the Great Eastern Main Line. I thought I wouldn't, but I do on the Great Eastern Main Line. So over the Mark 3s and the Mark 2s, and then well as a child. So yeah, so I didn't thought I'd miss them, but I do. So I think most people do say that when they get older. They're sort of like, no, and then you go, oh, the old's better, really. Oh, that was more funner. Oh, dear. You know, I think that's the same with me. But I think the train overall, 7405 is slightly better overall. But I do miss slam door trains. They're fun. So, yeah. So, yeah, we'll get some more when I go around. If I don't go drop everything. Now we've got a diesel rail card here. You might better hear me under the noise, but I will try the best I can. And the real diesel Railbus, they call it, and it's E79963, and it was built by a wagon, and I can't pronounce it anyway, so I'll probably put it on screen. And that was in 1958. That one was. So so yeah, so that was a diesel rail bus. So yeah, so we get more information where I see the notice, and we've got a wagon here situated. I do not know what it is, but but I'll show it anyway. So yeah, so we'll go from there. So yeah, so we'll get more when we get more. And also again, I will put this situation in, and as over there we've got another signaling box, which is Chapel North, which is used for another bit of rail, I do believe, and signaling box, but that's for this line, and yes, and that's what we're for. So yeah, we'll get more as we go along, and we've got a sort of thing for, which I do believe that's for steam trains. I do believe that is. I don't think it's used for diesel, but hey, we'll get more. Now we are in the restoration shed, and we're probably going to see a few stuff here, and yes, and this one was straight in front of you, which is, of course, you can actually see what it is. It's M21027, which is a cold or brake composer, which is built in 1954, and I think we actually saw all the coaches, might not, but there you go. But that one there, we saw quite a lot of, and yes, and we just go walk through here. Might be a few stops, might be a few not, and we just walk basically. That's all we're going to do. There's nothing much we can actually do here, apart from just walk. So and just talk what they are in. You get a guidebook situation, so you know what trains are situation, and we'll go from there. Might be a bit of struggle, because there's a 100 miles per hour sign. You'll see them definitely on the Great Eastern Main Line, 100%. You'll definitely see them. Of course, you know, not more modern ones today, but it's still 100, and that's Great Eastern Main Line. Other lines are faster, and etc. etc. You'll get to know what they are. So yeah, and there's another one here, which is 97766. Don't really know about this one, and yeah, I just reading, and it's saying I'm not sure even this train is the right one. Situation. Yeah, it's not a coach, and it is something else, and the problem is now I'm a bit screwed up now. Literally, I might have to come back to you this one situation, because I am struggling with hands and what I got, unfortunately. So I'll get back to this one as I know what's what. Yes, we now know more about this train now, and yeah, it is a motor brake second MBS, which is apparently says 61928. So I don't know, that might be just be the carriage, but hey ho, but you know, something different. And yeah, we can't go that far, but I'm not planning to anyway, I don't want to. And new Jubilee, so yeah, needs a bit of work doing, but that's what they do, that's what they're here for. So his vehicle here has been heart of the class 309 electrical multiple unit. There you go. I'm not going to read it, because you can see it. So yeah, so we'll carry on. There's probably not going to be much now, but you know, we'll carry on as we do, and that's what we go do. Now we got some steam locomotives now, people who like steam locomotives, which I like a bit of everything. And this one is Jubilee, which is built by Bagnall in 1936, and that one is 0/4/OCT. I'm not too sure about that one, how you situation, and that one is, and that one, this green one, Jubilee one, is actually you know, was ordered by Edward Lloyd from Sitborne in Kent, which is interesting, where sort of I know about a lot of. And this one is here, which is the next one, and it's a reddish one, and this one is well, I can say on here, but it's that temp works on 1047, I do believe, and and can't really indicate what one it is, but you know, if it's there, and we can get more of that one. And then the end one, you probably can gather what are these are linking towards, these trains. I'm not going to say at the moment, it'll be too giveaway. I might say at the end of the video of the whole day, and see if you've got any hints. And this one is Tank 54, and works on. And this one I can't really indicate what situation either. So yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you find out. I'll put a description down below, and you know, I'll probably say a little right at the end of it before I go back home, shall I say. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to say anything at the moment. You'll probably gather. You'll probably be like, oh, straight on. That's so and so. That's so and so. That's so and so. You know, straight away. So towards. So yeah, and this one is I can't really indicate, you know, situation because it's not clear on the situation on the I'm not going to bother that situation, but anyway, there you go. Now we are outside again. We've got a 309624. Doesn't really say much in the booklet, but I think they're quite new orders. I think that's probably Royal, something like that. And as you can see, it's in the former, you know, glory of the Network South East livery, two-page livery, if you like to call it. And I like this livery. And you're still seeing one few around, which is just a historic sort of moment of them flying around on the Network Rail side of things. And no, I know the one in the Southeastern network and these livery going around, slightly different because they've got to be confined to today's safety and standard, but you know, I do believe there is a 465 flying around with the sort of classic livery. I do know. I mean, I think there's others as well. So yes. So it's nice. But this is an original livery of Network South East when it was in the day. You can tell by the doors. So which is nice to see. So yeah. So it's nice to see that in the glory days. We say glory days. I don't know. I think I'll just leave up to you to say that. To think of that, because some of you might think, well, not so glory days. Some people might say, yeah, glory days. And I'm going to say, I'm going to leave it to you. I think I'll go to the other side, but of course I won't be able to. So yes. So that's nice to see that, you know, hanging around here. And the colours just, you know, struck me back how it was. Well, it was younger age, basically. Especially I think there were 421s in the southeastern area. So, southeast area. So it definitely reminded me. And also, the great, with the, you know, down to like the Great Eastern Main Line as well. So yeah, that as well. So you got to think of that. So yeah. So you got to think there was some sort of liveries down there as well, which are the 321s. No longer with us. But yeah. So yeah. That's it. Now we got a 317, 345 there. Fortunately, it's closed today there, but I'm not too worried. And there's like off that train there, which is used for West Anglia. And yeah, 317, 345 there, and it arrived here museum on the 20th of October 2021. So both work West Anglia and Great Eastern Mainline routes. But this one's probably typically for the West Anglia side. As you can see, it says West Anglia on the side, if you can see that. but obviously, unfortunately, it's barrier closed, and it's what it is. So, so yes, you might be able to see. There you go. What's the angle? There you go. And that's 317.345. So, so yeah. Shane can't get to see that one, but they have put barrier across, so it's what it is. So, so there you go. Now I want to draw your attention. There's a sign here, an old sign. Not an old sign, but it's a replica old sign for the station. It's Chapel and Waits Go. Right here for East Anglia Railway Museum. There you go. That's one thing I want to put. And situation here, you've got the old sort of light lamp and some other old signalings, and there's the bridge as well. I'm going to go over the other side. There's a single box, and that's probably about it really, to be honestly. So that's what I'm going to do. Now we are at Chapel second box. In here you see all the old levers, which they do for signalling, which is nice to see. I know some of these are in use still around Network Rail, but not many of them now. I think one or few of them are. Never seen them, but I understand from other videos from other people I generally see, and especially one time with Geoff Marshall. I will link him on the description down below because I've said about him now. And he done one in the southern, so down southern area, trains area, or somewhere like that, where they do levers still. So yeah, so just the lever situation, and which is nice to see. It's obviously not in use. It may be in use, but maybe for, you know, when the historic railway is running, but doubtful. And so yeah, and there's the paragraph, and that's a better view. You can actually see it now, which is nice to see. And but yeah, so that's what it is. I have to say, so it's nice, and you get the signal box here. Everything which goes on it, with everything which goes along it and everything. And so yes, so it's nice to see working to see a signalling box situation. All the numbers corresponding to understand what levers to pull and what track to pull and everything. I do believe, but I don't know exactly. And but yes, yes, they're not in use anymore because these signals do not affect anything. Have a go, and yeah, I will have a go, to be honest, but this is not in use anymore, so you can't do it anymore, so it does not work. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go, and let's see. Now we are getting the 12:39 train here at Chapel and Waits Crow, going towards Marks Tay. I'm going to get on this one. 334 again, as always. Yeah, it's been a nice time here. It's a fantastic time here. Definitely come back here again see running trains or some stuff like that. Fantastic, brilliant. If you like my videos, please get a thumbs up. Please subscribe in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, here at that station, we're going to say goodbye now, and goodbye, and goodbye.